Hey, howdy, hey, awesome people of the internet. Not wearing much Wolfman 4 Dash here. Not wearing much because it has been a hot day the day I'm recording this video on, so, have to cool off somehow. So, something that's been on my mind for quite some time now is trailers and I guess film posters as well that are revealing a bit too much. And the reason I bring this up now rather than brought it up earlier on is because it's become clear to me that most studios and companies nowadays will just do anything and everything to make sure people buy or get invested into their products, whether it's films, TV shows, films, TV shows, video games, books, and any other kind of product. They just want people to get invested in them, and they'll get so desperate that for the ones that are meant to be stories and everything, they'll just reveal a little bit too much, which to me can be a bad thing. But at the same time, if it's for something that's otherwise going to be really, really bad, then it probably is going to be a good thing. Nevertheless, I do feel the need to talk about it. So I'm going to throw in a few examples of some good and some bad examples of a trailer revealing too much. So first up, we have the Angry Birds movie. Now, every time I see the trailer for the Angry Birds movie, I always envision it as being like the entirety of the film, because it effectively gives us all the little details from the film, and it's kind of like a condensed version of the film condensed into a few minutes. So you watch that, and then you see the actual film, and you realise that that the film is pretty much the extended cut of the trailer, and that to me is a trailer that reveals too much. Then let's take a look at the Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers trailer. Now this is mostly well known for being a trailer that may not reveal all that much, but does reveal one key element to it, and the key element to it is Gandalf at the end. Now, after seeing Fellowship of the Ring, many of us would believe that Gandalf is well and truly dead, and that if he was to come back in a sequel, we'd like it to be a surprise. But the trailer decided, no, it's not going to be a surprise. You're going to see Gandalf in the trailer. And as it turns out, it's Gandalf the White that we see. And he's also on the poster as well. So in this sense, it doesn't reveal all that much, or it does reveal a fair bit. But the main issue being that it does reveal a major spoiler part of the film. So it kind of ruins the film for you. So that's that. Then we've got all the times when the Doctor Who revival era has had trailers, and I'll be honest, the problem with how Doctor Who is run these days, I know there's a lot of problems with it, but one problem that it does have is that sometimes the head writers kind of make out that they are revealing too much, but at the same time are trying not to reveal too much, but unintentionally do reveal too much. Like, for example, when the first series of the revival came to an end, it was revealed in the papers who would be the next Doctor, which ended up being David Tennant, and that kind of ruins the sort of regeneration, the sort of ending for some people, because some people were of the assumption that Chris Ferguson would continue, but then, as it turns out, it's actually David Tennant that will continue it, and that can be a bit of a spoiler for some people, and actually kind of revealing how these cast members for different shows will be ending their time on the show. It can be a bit of a spoiler for some people, but that may not necessarily be revealed in trailers for certain things. Another good example of a trailer within too much is from a film that was released this year, Captain America: Brave New World. Now we all know that Red Hulk is in it, and originally the plan was for the trailers to not reveal too much, and Red Hulk will just be a little treat for people at the end of seeing a film that while far from perfect did resolve a few plot points, the such as the Eternals giant creature thing, how that's happening with that and other stuff. But the one thing that they did reveal in the trailer that is probably the prime reason why it's getting so many bad reviews is Red Hulk. Red Hulk being this treat at the end of the film that filmmakers wanted people to sort of get surprised and excited for, and Disney decided to ruin any chances of it doing well by basically just revealing that Red Hulk's in the film and making a big hoo-ha about it. And yeah, that is an example of trailer revealing too much. So, with all that said, what is an example of a trailer that doesn't reveal too much? And I like to take a look at some Pixar trailers. Now, most of the time when Pixar releases a new film, every time they've done a teaser trailer, the teaser trailer is usually the one trailer that doesn't reveal too much, and it's probably the only time when a trailer actually shows a scene or sequence that isn't actually in the final film. So, for example, the Toy Story 2 trailer, it was kind of a reenactment of the famous Toy Story 1 scene where the little green aliens see the claw brings down the logo for the next film, and it's revealed that it's going to be Toy Story 2, and then we get a little bit of Woody and Buzz talking about it at the end. That, to me, is a good example of a trailer not revealing too much. Another good example from a Pixar teaser trailer is, I guess, Monsters Inc. and also Monsters University, who basically do almost the exact same trailer, but both different. So starts out with the door in a children's bedroom, and a monster comes out and tries to scare the child, but ends up screwing up, or as is the case in the first trailer. And that is a scene that does feature in the film, but it doesn't reveal too much. It just reveals the basic concept of the whole idea that is monsters that exist in this universe. Whereas the Monster University trailer makes it kind of does it a little bit differently, in which it actually sort of reveals university life, as it were, with Sully trying to scare Mike Wazowski into doing stuff. So yeah, and those two are kind of good examples of trailers not revealing too much. And for all the Disney remakes that have been coming out, obviously the trailers do reveal too much because Disney, I guess, of the opinion that everybody's seen the original films and they want people to watch the new films, but don't really come to realise that all these people that watch the new films will always go back to the original films anyway, or just watch the original films instead, because they're good as they are. Don't remake them. So yeah, this is definitely one topic that, of all things, is one topic that me and my friend Clank Zoka do often talk about, that where we just think that trailers just reveal way too much, and when they reveal too much, it kind of ruins the experience for some people, whether it's to do with any kind of media. It does kind of ruin the experience if it's like reveals like a lot of spoiler heavy areas. Now, when it comes to most video games, their trailers don't reveal too much, because video games are obviously a different medium, and can be a lot bigger than films at large, to the point where you can actually play the video games and not be spoiled too much by the trailers, because the trailers can only reveal so much. Whereas actually playing the game, the trailers for most video games tend not to reveal too much, and even if they do reveal a bit too much, people are usually fine with it, because it's mostly gameplay, and usually gameplay is not really something that people can be spoiled by, but because eventually everyone's going to be on YouTube, like me, doing gameplay footage from those games. So yeah. And when it comes to adverts and trailers for other things, I mean, finding out the features of particular devices, game consoles, etc. Of course, we're going to be finding out that information eventually. Especially with the recent announcement of the Nintendo Switch 2, which has received some controversy for the price of not just the console itself, but also the games that's coming out, which in my honest opinion, are basically trying to the games are basically the price of what you would pay a premium or special edition of a certain game. Whereas because standard games usually cost these days usually cost no more than usually costs 50 quid or less, whereas if you get the premium edition or a special edition, which usually costs a little bit more, but you get the DLC, it does cost along the lines of 75 quid or more. But never in my entire life have I ever seen a company try to market a standard game to be to cost that much. I mean, I get it, you know, it's probably going to be a very good game and everything, but yeah, it's just, I don't know. But anyway, back to the topic at hand. On the whole, I think some companies are either desperate, want people excited, and want people pumped to see their stuff or play their stuff or whatever, but sometimes they just get too carried away with how desperate they are, how determined that they want their things to do well, that they do kind of reveal a bit too much, whether that's intentional or not. It's something that companies do need to work on, to just not reveal too much, just reveal enough to get people invested, because you can just reveal a few things. You don't have to reveal everything, just a few things to get people interested, and then stop. You don't need to do any more than that. So yeah, it's just, you know, with all the stuff going on with AI and everything, this is definitely one thing that a lot of companies and so forth do need to be mindful of. That while a lot of us would love to see, I don't know, the new Shrek 5, for example, we just are not going to get invested into it if you're going to reveal too much in the trailers. And that's why some of us do tend to avoid watching trailers altogether nowadays, because they just reveal way too much. Now, Shrek 5 doesn't reveal too much. It just reveals the new designs of the main characters, which has caused some controversy, but it is otherwise enough for some people to get invested and others not so much. And then there's the whole thing about the Sonic trailer, as in the first Sonic film trailer, in which a lot of us were not happy with the design of Sonic, and it's because of that Paramount decided to change it. And in that one particular trailer, okay, they did reveal a bit, but it didn't reveal too much, because at that point it was then decided that they would redesign the character to be more like the character we know and love. And yeah, they didn't change the trailer or anything. They just kept the trailer as it was with the original design, and people still meme it to this day. So in a way, sometimes when a trailer doesn't reveal too much, but does reveal a design that people don't particularly like, it is going to entertain people in the sense that you get to make memes about it. You can do a video of someone singing in the comments section. You can just use AI to sort of ruin it even more if it is a thing that's using AI, and all this other stuff. But the point is, please, if you're gonna advertise something out that you want people to be invested in, don't reveal too much, because sometimes you just need to reveal just a few things, but don't reveal too much, because we like to be surprised. We like to be invested. We just want to be entertained and all that. Just don't reveal too much. I know that can be difficult for some things, particularly those films where it's like a continuation of another film, but they're trying their best not to reveal too much because of spoilers. And I get that. That's the kind of thing I would want all companies to do, to just feel like that anything could potentially be a spoiler and just reveal enough for people to get invested in. So if say for example there's a character whose fate is not revealed in the first part of say a film or a video game or whatever, and they leave it on a cliffhanger to just say that this character may not have survived, then, you know, leave that character out of the trailer for the next thing, because then by doing that, it means people can be surprised and all sorts, and then Okay, I'm just going to stop ranting now, but that's basically what I think about all these different people that are trying to reveal too much in the trailers. And really, you don't really need to reveal too much to get people invested and so forth. Some of us will still watch and play these things anyway, regardless of whether the thing reveals too much or not. But if you reveal way, way, way too much, then it's gonna, chances are you're going to fail, and it's just gonna put you in a bad light, and it's just gonna show signs that you're getting desperate or or whatever. But yeah, that's what I think about it. Draw your conclusions in the comments about what you think about whether trailers need to change, whether they need to reveal too much or not reveal, or whether you think they don't reveal enough. Love to hear what you think. But other than that, thanks so much for watching. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you are considering subscribing, I'll give you a rundown of what I do. I do all sorts of gaming videos. So I do gameplay videos where it's just straight gameplay and nothing else. Sometimes I do gameplay videos in the form of let's play videos where I have my camera on, you can hear me talking and everything. But usually it's either that or without commentary, and it's either me on my own playing the games or me and someone else playing the games as well. And I usually, for some of the bigger games, I tend to do like a series of videos for each game, and then go on to another game after I've finished them. So that's what I do on that front. In addition, I also do vlogs like this where I talk about all sorts of different topics, particularly things that interest me or are to do with my interests and all that stuff. I also do random shorts as well. I used to do a lot of shorts featuring clips from various things, but I've since now decided to just do shorts that are either things that I want to talk about in under a minute or just going to the cinema or whatever, because there's only so much you can do in under a minute for a short. I also do occasional polls as well and other things too. So that's what I do. See you in the next one. Peace to you all. And even though I could potentially be naked because I'm intentionally trying not to reveal too much and just making a point, no, it is definitely because it has been a hot day and I just need to cool down. But overall, yeah, bottom line, if you are gonna want to watch this film, play this video game, whatever, only look at things that you know aren't going to reveal too much and not going to spoil the experience for you or whatever. But if you don't mind spoilers, whatever, you go ahead. Everyone's different, and that's all I've got to say. So yeah, right, toodles.